Your former school has their head coach. They have their man in Willie Taggart. That, according to multiple reports, Taggart spent just one season at Oregon before deciding to return to his home state of Florida. He is a Bradenton, Florida native. BMAC, what will he bring to Tallahassee?
Well, he actually loves Florida State. He grew up a Florida State fan. You talk about being from Bradenton, Florida. He grew up loving Charlie Ward, Amp Lee. He's been a Florida State fan his entire career. So we're getting a guy that actually has emotional ties to the program. So that's huge. So you know he's going to do everything in his power to be successful as a university and as an individual. And when you look at his ability to recruit in the state of Florida, that's huge, because now when you tap into the state, you have to worry about in-state coaches like Dan Mullen, who's at Florida now, replacing McElwain. And then you talk about Mark Richt with the Miami Hurricanes being relevant once again. A little off the top, we just emphasized he's the coach of the year, Mark Richt. And then the other coaches that tap into the state, like Kirby Smart, the SEC coaches like Saban, those guys, Orgeron. You need to have a guy as far as the relatability that he could provide to the high school coaches and the players, and he's been able to do that. You look at what he did at South Florida. You look at what he was able to do in that short stint at Oregon. And in this 2018 class that he currently had at Oregon, he had 3 potential big-name changing players that are from the state of Florida that he actually out-recruited Florida State for to get that commitment. So there's a good chance that we could see a lot of these kids that committed to Oregon, especially the in-state products, potentially flip, decommit, and then commit to the Florida State Seminoles. So that's huge.
Does he bring a different energy, you think, than Jimbo had?
Well, they both love football.
Yeah.
They're both offensive-minded coaches. I think just being able to relate to these high school kids is huge. The high school coaches love him. And Jimbo had that same ability also. But it's something about having a coach that grew up loving the team he's currently coaching for. You can't top that. So you have to look at it like this. Even though he was at South Florida, he always rooted for Florida State in his heart. This past year at Oregon, he always rooted for Florida State in his heart. So that's like getting me to be the head coach at Florida State. You know I'm going to give my all.
Right, right.
I'm invested in this university from my heart, from my emotions, from my passion. So that's the same thing Willie Taggart has here. And I see this as a potential Mike Tomlin effect. Pittsburgh had to replace a legend, basically, and Bill Cowher, kind of an unknown guy, was a coordinator, but he came in young, vibrant, energetic, passionate, and all he had to do was manage the organization because players were already intact. That's kind of the same situation with Willie Taggart. Granted, he's had head coaching experience before, but you look at the key guys that are still there at Florida State. You get a healthy DeAndre Francois back. Now you got your quarterback. The receivers, offensive line, still intact. Cam Akers is still intact. You manage the system and continue to provide big recruits into that university. Now you're cooking.